This What's Working with Cam Marston podcast is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer.
What's Working with Cam Marston is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer. Stella Artois is a perfect beer for celebration. Nothing caps off a big sale, hitting your incentive goals, or a profitable quarter like a round of Stella's. Brewed first in 1708 as a special Christmas brew, today Stella is a gift for everyone to enjoy year-round. Stella Artois. Find it wherever fine beer is sold.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. What's Working is the show designed to bring you the trends influencing the workplace, the workforce, and the marketplace around you. Our guests are people that can speak intelligently about these trends and how they're reacting to them, what the trends are, how they're reacting to them, what they're learning on the way. Our hope is that you'll hear something they say that will make you a little bit better at whatever it is that you do, whether it be an attitude, an insight, a product, an approach to the marketplace, who knows? One of the things that we've gotten a little bit away from on this show, frankly, is the history of it. We're always looking for the new content, trying to find people with both a national as well as a local appeal, and that search is ongoing, always is and always will be. But when I look over the past shows that we've done, we've got quite an inventory, and you've met a lot of people from our area as well as across the nation that I think maybe are of interest. So my question is that I asked myself the other day is, some of these people really, really made an impression on me. I wonder what they're up to. I don't know that putting them on for a whole show again would be the right thing to do because there's not been that much water under the bridge. But I wonder how their plans are going. I wonder if they've progressed. I wonder if the goals that they shared with us are any closer to realization, particularly after what's been a crazy year, as you all know. And it occurred to me, I consider myself fairly intelligent, but I miss a lot of obvious things, and this is one that I missed. Why don't we check in with them? Why don't we make it a check-in show? Why don't we reach out to these people and say, hey, we've not talked in a while. What's going on with you? How have those goals progressed? How's that product doing? How's that market penetration going for you? Tell us what's going on. And as the guy with the microphone, I get to pick who we go back and chat with. This show, we're going to go back and chat with the following people. There is Logan and Chelsea Green with the Yard Milkshake Bar. They had come off a really they made us all proud, quite frankly, by doing so well on Shark Tank and getting a deal with Mark Cuban. Let's talk about how that's going, Chelsea and Logan. Let's hear from you. We're then going to talk with Joe Brown. Joe Brown is the guy that runs Your CBD Store of West Mobile. That show was extraordinarily popular because of all the questions around it. What's going on with the stuff? What is the stuff? How does it help me? What's going on with it? Science continues to unfold new potentials of CBD. How is it manifesting itself in Joe's marketplace? We'll talk to him second. And finally is one of the conversations that we have that absolutely, the man just oozes charisma. If anyone in this world needs a reality TV show, it's Lane Zirlott of Murder Point Oysters. We spoke to Lane. We became advocates of his product. And since then, I've bought him a number of times. And Lane has even brought me down to the farm where they raise all these oysters. And it's a sight to see. They got it going on. We'll talk to Lane third. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. It's the check-in show. We're going to revisit some of the favorite people we've talked to over the past couple of years and see what they're up to. We'll start with Chelsea and Logan Green with the Yard Milkshake Bar when we're back from this break.
What's Working with Cam Marston is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer. Now offering the purchase of the Stella Artois Chalice, a beautiful stemmed glass with the Stella logo. The purchase of each Stella Artois Chalice provides 5 years of clean water for someone in one of 13 developing countries around the world. Learn more at stellaartois.com. Stella Artois. Find it wherever fine beer is sold.
At Spring Hill Toyota, it's just that easy. From our 3-day exchange to free car washes, the benefits of the Spring Hill Advantage make the choice easy to see. We make it easy to own. Every vehicle comes with Toyota Care, plus our no-cost maintenance plan with free tire rotations and oil changes for 4 years. Get peace of mind with free roadside assistance 24/7. And don't forget, it's easy to buy your car 100% online. Visit SpringHillToyota.com today. It's just that easy.
I'm Eric Cromwell. The law firm of Cromwell & Associates can help guide your decisions regarding the life you've created with estate planning tools like wills and trusts. We've planned meetings with first-generation business owners and large multi-generational family groups. With locations in Mobile and Fairhope, we can assist you and your family through every stage of life. To learn more, call 251-605-9075 or find Cromwell & Associates on Facebook.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. I'm State Farm agent Allison Horner, and that's why I'm right here in Mobile to help you select the right protection at the right price. I'll make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With me as your State Farm agent, it's easy to make the right choice. You can come by, call, or click AllisonHorner.com. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. On the line, Chelsea and Logan Green. They began the Yard Milkshake Bar in the Gulf Shores area, and since it's exploded, Chelsea and Logan, thank you for your time. Welcome back to What's Working.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Glad to have you. I'm curious. So there's so many questions that I have, but let's begin this way. What's going on with the two of you?
Well, since we last talked, we've opened 4 locations. They've been franchises. So we opened one in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We opened one in Flowood, Mississippi, Atlanta, Georgia, and Georgetown, Texas.
Wow, that's quite a bit. How has the process of franchising and opening these locations been harder or easier than you thought?
I think for the most part, everybody seems to underestimate the amount of energy it takes to get something done. So I think for us, it gets easier the more you do. But the processes to do it, they always seem to change and upgrade and advance quite a bit. So, as you scale anything, problem scale as well. We have to hire a massive amount of staff from each side, for franchisees, from a running the office perspective. And, we're in an office now that's too small and we're working on getting a bigger one and things like that. From a constant growth standpoint, they're always present issues that you have to try to work around. But overall, I think it's been as expected. It's not an easy task at all. It's a management strategy that you really have to refine on a daily basis, I would say.
I'm curious if these franchisees found you or did you find them? What's that story?
A little bit of both. So we market a little bit for franchise, sales and stuff like that. But for the most part, our typical franchisee, they're going to come to us with an intention of doing something different in their life. A lot of them have worked somewhere for, maybe 15 or 20 years and they're ready to put their own name and stamp on something of their own. So it's kind of one of the unique things about us as well is that we don't have a huge amount of criteria for the franchisees. We meet them, we vet them, we make sure the financial stuff looks good. And then it's all personality after that. If they're really good people and they have good intentions and things like that, we can usually work with a franchisee of any background. We've got real estate agents that have opened stores. We've got teachers and doctors and stuff like that. So the spectrum of who applies is really broad. But for the most part, our marketing strategies and stuff and our brand equity, they seem to attract a lot of attention that way on their own. I would say probably 80% of the people come find us. 20% of the people, we get through our own marketing efforts, stuff like that.
How much work do you take in site selection with them to make sure that the location, the city, the strip mall, wherever they're going, is one that will support your customer.
Yeah, so that's always one of our biggest concerns once we have a franchisee kind of scheduled in. And, typically inside a franchise agreement, you've got all these things that narrow down where you can be and how long you have to open. And we're extremely flexible with that because, you win and lose on your lease deal. So if you get a franchisee that's going to come in there, and they're going to pay a crazy amount of rent, right? Well, we've got the metrics and stuff down for them to try to figure out how much in sales they have to do. And if the demographic stuff doesn't match, then we direct them in another way. But the real estate is the one thing that we focus probably, it's 80% of your timeline from the time that you sign a franchise agreement to actually getting a location open and producing some income. The best strategy for us is to hire local real estate agents on a broad scale. So to give you an example, we've got about 8 locations throughout the Florida area right now. We're all working with one real estate group to get those demographics narrowed down, those rental rates and store model types, center types narrowed down so we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel with somebody new every time.
Yeah.
And then it really helps the process move quite faster rather. But real estate for sure is our top priority. You miss on real estate and it's a major deal, major expense to recover that.
I remember hearing that McDonald's restaurant is actually a real estate company that does hamburgers on the side because their site selection is so very important.
Yeah. That's a strategy that a lot of companies have gone to and left in the past. There's several companies that went that way. It's just we really like centers that have a lot of natural foot traffic and stuff like that. From a McDonald's type concept, they're buying a lot of interstate based properties, a lot of highway frontage, things like that. And you're right. I don't know specifically to this day if they still own the majority of the real estate. But there are a lot of restaurant concepts out there that will do that. They will, they'll buy the real estate and use the product to pay that. And we offer that as an option as well. It requires a whole lot more cash up front from a franchisee's perspective to try to own some real estate. And if they have that ability, we'll back them 100%. But for the most part, the cash to build the store and things like that, and to leave the real estate to a real estate developer, it vastly increases their timeline as well.
Yeah.
When we sign a franchise agreement, we usually have that location open within 270 days. So if you're starting from scratch, you're, a year and a half, 2 years at best to planning, permitting, zoning, use clauses, all that kind of stuff, deal with the cities, developmental restrictions, things like that. So from a straight up time perspective, currently leasing is the way to go for us.
Logan, I can tell by the way you're talking, the terms you're using, the confidence in your voice that you have come a long way in the past 1 year. I bet it looks like a hurricane in your past of change and meeting people and learning stuff. You guys both made the hometown proud when you appeared on Shark Tank and struck a deal with Mark Cuban. What's the status of that?
Yeah, so Chelsea and I worked on that deal after the fact. So obviously you guys see some stuff on the show that is edited footage, things like that. We were on the show for, 40, 45 minutes talking to everybody up there. I'm not sure. I don't really remember how much they showed on TV, but we did on TV sign up a deal with the Mark Cuban. However, once you kind of get in the back scenes and you start looking at the documentation stuff that comes with those deals, it didn't work for us. It was a hindrance on our growth plan and just some changes and stuff that weren't who we were as a company, right? So we were doing pretty well on our own. But again, the intention there was to try to save a decade and give our franchisees that infrastructure of what Mark Cuban's companies and things are. What we discovered was it wasn't what we had in mind. Is about the most I can say for that. So we did not close that deal. We agreed on TV, but again, the TV stuff is it's just a vague. It's a non-binding handshake on TV. Everybody does their due diligence and stuff in the back. So once we did our due diligence, we we decided to tackle this problem on our own. And we're grateful for that. We retained the equity in the company. We're able to grow in our own direction, and our pace and things like that, which our pace is pretty quick right now.
So the television show that we see, Shark Tank, is essentially when people come to an agreement, it's let's agree to work on this. Let's agree that we're interested in each other. It's not an ironclad thing. When the scene stops and it goes to commercial, that is not the ironclad commitment to do business together with one another.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. That's exactly what happens. So you learn a little bit about them. They learn a little bit about you, and the terms of the deal never change, as far as the price point and stuff. It's the little things that you really have to be aware of. It's who's now in control of your company for what cost, and you really have to make that decision on a personal level, whether and my recommendation to anybody opening a business or anything, look, there's no amount of money or people that you can throw at a business to make all your problems go away.
Yeah.
You're always going to have something come up that you're just going to have to deal with. You're not going to want to do it. It's not going to be emotionally good time, but to give up equity in what you've built over the last couple of years and the goals and stuff that you see for your staff and employees and things like that, to give up equity for that is just, to me, it was going to be a little bit irresponsible. So we made the choice to, stick it out, deal with the problems. And look, when those problems go away and they're solved and you still have the equity in your company and you're still, own everything that, you decided to build and the direction of the company is going in the way that you envisioned, it's a much better feeling than a little bit of momentary cash in your pocket.
Tell me about what's going on in the stores, Chelsea. Let's hear from you for a moment. What's going on in the stores? What's going on in your Gulf Shores store, your Fairhope store? What are you seeing out there these days?
Well, we just got the big summer or spring break crowd in this past weekend. So we're doing good. We're rocking and rolling on that. We actually have a store opening within the next week in Destin. It's a franchise as well. So that one's kind of close to home as well. So we think it's going to do amazing. In the next 2 months, we have announced 3 more stores that are opening. Madison, Alabama. There's going to be one in Phoenix, Arizona, and Ashburn, Virginia, which is a suburb of Washington, D.C. So we're really excited about all of those. We have some new menus coming out this spring break with some new flavors that we've been working on. So that's really exciting. We have new specialty shakes, just a lot of new stuff coming out that we're excited about. What kind of flavorings have come out that's new, or toppings or something like that? I'm curious of how much you have to keep track of what the kids' candy preferences are. What's out there that's new in terms of the delicacies you're offering? So we are adding a couple new flavors this year, but 2 that are kind of new to Hershey, which is our ice cream company as a whole, is going to be a marshmallow one, which seems, like nothing new, but is really, really amazing. It actually has little white chocolate chip flakes in it. And we're going to mix that with our cereal killer shake, which we used to do vanilla with Fruity Pebbles, but now we're going to do marshmallow with Fruity Pebbles. So it's really going to be like a huge, you're eating a, Fruity Pebble treat in a milkshake. The other specialty flavor that's coming out is a cinnamon bun, which is really, really good too. We have never had one exactly like this before. So we're excited about that one as well. I tell you what, and I've told people this, and I think I said it when we got on the phone here a moment ago. Looking at your Instagram feed makes me feel like I'm cheating on my wife. The pictures are so glorious and gluttonous and just amazing. Folks, if you want to see something truly special, go find them on the Yard Milkshake Bar on Instagram and look at these creations. You just think, oh my Lord, it's just fantastic to look at. Have I ever told you two about the club that I have, the Vanilla Ice Cream Eaters of America? There's only 5.
Absolutely. I got your coffee cup in the cabinet, buddy.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. Yeah, they're 5, and now with the 2 of you, I think you're up. It makes the club up to 7 members. So,
right, this year, man.
Yeah, I love it. You guys are a hometown story done good. I love to hear the growth that you're experiencing. I love to hear how keenly aware you are of the changes going on in the marketplace, whether it comes to the flavorings and the delicacies being offered to the types of franchise agreements. You make us all proud. We wish you good luck. Tell people real quick where they can find you in Gulf Shores and in Fairhope.
In Gulf Shores, we're at 3800 Gulf Shores Parkway, which is right near the Cobb Theaters and the Target, if you know where that is.
Yeah.
In Fairhope, we're downtown. The closest restaurant is Cactus Cantina. A lot of people know where that's at.
Yeah.
So, you can find us there. You can find us. We're on Section Street in Fairhope, but you can find us also in close by places to you. We have one in D'Iberville, Mississippi, and then we do have one opening up soon in Destin, and then also Panama City Beach.
Love it. Just love it. So proud of you guys. So happy of you. Folks, Chelsea and Logan Green, owners of the Yard Milkshake Bar. It began with an idea. Now it's a franchise. Good luck to you both. We'll be back after this break with Joe Brown of your CBD store of West Mobile. You're listening to What's Working.
Hi, I'm David Nelson, brewmaster and owner of Braided River Brewing in downtown Mobile. We make drinkable, flavorful craft beer perfect for life on the Gulf Coast. So pick up one of our six-packs before your next adventure or stop by our tap room for a relaxing afternoon with friends. Follow us on social media for the latest beer releases and events and ask for a Braided River at your favorite bars and restaurants. Thanks for your support. We look forward to sharing our beers with you.
This is Cam Marston, and I'm with Cajun Mike of E3 Termite and Pest Control. Cajun Mike, if a homeowner thinks they have termites, do you offer inspections? What about someone buying a new home? Can you come in and take a look and see if there are termites in their new home?
Yeah, basically what we would do on a home above and beyond anyone else is we actually do a thorough inspection. But above that, we will use infrared imaging that will allow us to see problems in the wall and at times can tell us if there's anything going on.
That's fantastic, Cajun Mike. How can people find you?
They can find me at e3pest.com.
That's the letter E, the number 3, pest.com.
King Solomon wrote, "Without consultation, plans are frustrated, but with many counselors, they succeed." The law firm of Cromwell and Associates has the legal counsel that can help your business succeed with experience in LLCs, corporations, and tax. I'm Eric Cromwell. Our law firm has locations in Mobile and Fairhope. Call 251-605-9075 or search for Cromwell and Associates on Facebook. And let's discuss how we can help you.
We're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. We're doing our check-in show. We're kind of featuring the guests that have made the biggest impact on us in the recent time. And without a doubt, the CBD show we did with Joe Brown is one that goes right near the top of the list. It stimulated more conversation, more questions, more follow-up questions to me. And I know a lot of conversation and questions to Joe Brown. We got Joe back on the line. Joe, thank you for your time. Welcome back to What's Working.
Cam, thanks for having me back. I appreciate it as always. The pandemic made a big shift in our business, both physically and in customer oriented. They said 25% of the people who tried CBD over the year tried it to relieve stress and issues coming from the pandemic.
Interesting. So the pandemic actually led people to exploring CBD. I think that's great because a lot of people, were locked down, and my guess would have been the opposite, that people wouldn't be reaching out due to fear. However, the other proved true. I think that's fantastic. Tell me what the results of those people were. What did they come back saying?
Well, there's a constant stream of referrals. So we're encouraged that the people that reach out and learn about CBD are educating others. And that's our goal here, is to educate and empower so that you're not just a sheep following, the trends, that you're actually buying into it. There's an actual science behind CBD with the endocannabinoid system that's in our body, and our body makes CBD and it's looking for CBD.
You know, I read the headlines, Joe. I read the stories. I try to keep up with the news. I don't read everything. But it seems to me that the exploration of the potential of CBD continues, that there's more things being uncovered. The body's need for this, do we call it a chemical? Do we call it a whatever it may be? The body has a demand for it that we didn't know was as strong as it is. And the more research being done into it, the more we realize that there's a lot of potential in this stuff. Am I on track here?
Yeah, the industry continues to evolve. The 2018 Agricultural Improvement Act legalized hemp and all its extracts, cannabinoids, isomers, etc. And so initially, the driving force behind the legalization of hemp, which is in the cannabis family, was for the benefits of CBD. Well, the scientists have dug deeply into the 113 different minor cannabinoids that inhabit the plant, ranging from CBG to CBN to now Delta 8, Delta 10, THCV. I mean, it's a whole alphabet within the plant.
And I guess people had known for a while the significance of this plant and the reason it had been utilized for, I guess, years, hundreds of years by people in the past, but is now coming all back to us. Now, you mentioned Delta 8, you mentioned Delta 9, you mentioned a whole alphabet soup of whatever they are, references, or I can't think of the word I'm trying to find here, but give me one. Tell me one that's relatively new that has been perhaps brought to the forefront since you and I last talked that you think has got some pretty good potential.
Well, without a doubt, the hottest new cannabinoid of the month is Delta 8. So Delta 8 is a THC cannabinoid and is very similar in molecular structure to Delta 9, which is a psychoactive cannabinoid that makes cannabis hemp to marijuana. So the Delta 9 has a very strong psychoactivity, psychotropic reaction in working with the CB1 receptors, which are located mostly in the brain. And, you know, with anybody's history or just casual knowledge about pot is that, you know, it'll get you high and paranoid and cause anxiety and different things because of its psychoactive properties. Delta 8 is an isomer of Delta 9 and CBD, which means it's very similar in molecular structure, but their parts are in different places. So it's like a navel orange versus a blood orange. You know, they're very similar like that. So Delta 8 has a body, what they call a body high, a body feel that doesn't pack the baggage of paranoia and anxiety along with it.
So Delta 8, similar to Delta 9. Delta 9 is the stuff that makes you high when you smoke marijuana. Delta 8 is not that. It's something similar. Tell me what your customers report after taking Delta 8.
Well, just yesterday I had a gentleman come in. He was in town from Maryland, and he's had epilepsy and has been taking Delta 9 pot, marijuana, for over 6 years and has basically eliminated his seizures.
Wow.
And he was in town for business and didn't have his product, and Googled and looked it up and found me and came in and basically shared his stories and was able to get some product that he knows based on his usage is going to help him, you know.
So his problem was, his medical challenge was epilepsy, and the Delta 8 product has eliminated, from what you said, if I remember correctly, the seizures. That's the story that he's telling you. So this Delta 8 stuff, what is somebody who's listening thinking, will this stuff help me? Is there any way to address that, or is it unique per person?
Well, the FDA is really stickler about, things that we can technically say. They have ad restrictions and whatnot. So what we encourage our customers, potential customers, to do is investigate on their own.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of information that is out there. And, I have customers that I can report have come in and tell me that it helps them with their nighttime anxiety, their inability to shut off their brain and get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Which in turn leads to better health. I mean, it's a fact is that 83% of U.S. employees are reporting mental health issues during this time. And 67% are projecting mental health crises in the next 2 years. The fact is that human resource departments are being forced to expand daily, from not allowing any type of cannabinoid, whether it's CBD, THC9, THC8, ABC, into having tests being developed to where they can isolate exactly which cannabinoid is in there, because their work production and their workforce is suffering right now.
You know what? I see that, and I know where my kids go to school. They're aware of this as well. Not that they're aware of the stresses being put on people today. Workforces are aware of the stresses being put on today. A number of my clients across the nation are giving a lot of space, a lot of grace for a lot of the mental health challenges. And a buddy of mine here in town, Chuck Thuss, runs a podcast on the mental health challenges that's really very good. Warriors Unmasked, if you're interested. So this is we've gone from CBD into mental health, but this mental health conversation was once one that was kind of swept under the rug. There was something wrong with you if you had mental health problems. It's now, hey, we're in a crisis mode here in this nation still. There's the threat of death still due to the pandemic, though that threat seems to be being reduced. There's still a threat, and people are finally opening up and acknowledging this. And it sounds like, Joe, what you've said, your customers, the employers that have begun to realize, hey, maybe this CBD stuff can help us.
Yes. I mean, what it boils down to is quality of life.
Yeah.
Not only in your 9 to 5, but preceding it and afterwards, because your interaction with your families can be affected by your job, by your quality of life in your job. And so it's a circular pattern. If you feel better, you're going to act better.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. And it sounds like the products that you offer, and some of them new, I guess, brand new, Delta 8. I don't remember us talking about that when we were on the show last year. Some of them very new are continuing to be brought to the market with new outcomes per the users, correct?
Yes. We just got in one of our company's products. It's called Above, and it is 50%, a 1-to-1 ratio of Delta 8 to CBD. What you'll find if you do the research is that medical marijuana is not about getting high and not hurting, or getting high and feeling better. It is about how the cannabinoids work as they should in your cannabinoid system and reset your receptors that control your bodily emotions.
Yeah.
And so when you're in balance, there's a term called homeostasis. And so the whole goal is to be in homeostasis, where you're not stressed, you're not anxious, you're not inflamed, you're not, there's good things and bad things that these receptors control.
Well, I just got a call that my wife's got a flat tire. My daughter is sick at home. We got somebody at the door trying to get in to do some work on the house, and I could use some of that a little bit perhaps right now. Lots going on. Joe, your store is Your CBD Store of West Mobile. Tell people where to find you. I mean, this stuff works. It's helpful, at least to me. I'm speaking firsthand here. I'm somewhat aware of it since our conversation last year, Joe. How can they find you?
I am on Hillcrest Road, just south of Airport, north of Zirlott, directly across the street from Waffle House. The building's been newly painted, bright yellow and bright green. You cannot miss it. My number is 251-260-3223.
260-3223. This is Joe Brown, your CBD store of West Mobile, offering a lot of new stuff as the cannabinoid world continues to unfold with the new science. Joe, your show last year was one of our favorites. It got a lot of feedback. We're grateful to have you on again. Nice to check in with you. Folks, when we come back, we'll have Lane Zirlott with Murder Point Oysters on, talking about what's gone on with Murder Point in the past year or so. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. We'll be back.
What's Working with Cam Marston is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer. Stella Artois is a perfect beer for celebration. Nothing caps off a big sale, hitting your incentive goals, or a profitable quarter like a round of Stella's. Brewed first in 1708 as a special Christmas brew, today Stella is a gift for everyone to enjoy year-round. Stella Artois. Find it wherever fine beer is sold.
This is Cam Marston with Cajun Mike of E3 Termite and Pest Control. Cajun Mike, houses on pilings can have termites eat their way up inside the piling and enter the house. The homeowner never knows about it, but your company offers protection. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Cam. Basically, what we have designed is a program, and what we do is we will actually drill to the center of the pilings and put a product in the center that will stop the termites from coming up into the home.
Stucco exteriors as well?
Correct.
How can people find you, Cajun Mike?
They can find me at e3pest.com.
That's the letter E, the number 3, pest.com.
If you're a small business owner, you know how important it is to be here for your customers. I'm State Farm agent Allison Horner, and I also run a small business in Mobile. I'm here to help protect your small business. Stop in and talk with me, Allison Horner, State Farm agent.
We're back. You're listening to What's Working, and on the line with me is Lane Zirlott. Lane and his family run Murder Point Oysters, and it was without a doubt one of the most enjoyable shows I've been a part of. The charisma and the energy that Lane has towards his product and his work is absolutely contagious. I have become a fan of the product. I've bought them from the store down there. I've seen the farm where the oysters are grown. I've become a disciple. Lane, thank you for your time. Welcome back to What's Working, my friend.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Man, it's so good to talk to you. And you, I don't know if you know it, but you would be a great television personality with the extraordinary energy and enthusiasm and charisma you've got that comes through in everything you do. Have you considered a career in TV yet, Lane?
Hey, Oyster Wars, it's coming this fall. We'll look for it. Alabama Oyster Farm, Oyster Wars.
I love it. I love it. And I think it would be great. Tell me what's going on down there, Lane. Tell me about your growth. I know you guys were experiencing some growth when you and I were last on the phone together for this show. What's going on these days?
Well, number one thing, man, spring is here. So we're just getting everything ready, doing a little spring cleaning. We're bringing in our seed that we planted in the fall last year, getting it broke down, getting it ready, just getting ready to start moving some product through the farm. Hatchery season will be cranked up here in a couple weeks, so we'll get that rolling. And then our biggest thing right now is we're opening up another storefront over at the wharf in Gulf Shores. So we're getting that moving forward for the spring season over there.
I thought I saw that as you mentioned that, following you on social media. I thought I saw you were opening another storefront, and you're going to open it in time to take advantage of the summer tourists, huh?
We're working on it, man. We're pushing for May 1st. So yeah, we're pushing. We're going to do a little setup this year, and then going into the next year, we're going to do an all-out, full-on blitz and try to really crank it up over there.
So one of the things that we talked about was the distribution of your oysters and how far and wide they go. Tell me how that's changed. Are you still sending them all over North America? You said you had a big pocket up in Nashville and Charleston, and I think you mentioned New Orleans and Houston. Tell me what's going on with that.
Yeah, well, so we've recently, through the pandemic, things changed. Menu space became very limited. So it forced us to push into the FedEx side of things. And so now we're shipping. We actually just sent a big load up to Colorado and some in Missouri, to a couple restaurants up that way. So yeah, we're expanding, and we just tried to take a silver lining around a very dark cloud and make it work for us. And that was the FedEx, and during this time that we just are trying to get out of right now as far as the pandemic, but it's really opened some doors and pushed us to do some stuff maybe outside of our comfort zone and just maybe put some attention to something that we wouldn't necessarily was giving a lot of attention before. But so we've really kind of pushed the FedEx on the FedEx side and really got it going.
Are you shipping those oysters on dry ice? Or are you shipping them? I know you got to ship them refrigerated. Tell me how that works.
Yeah, so we've packed them up, gel packs, got them froze. We pack them for a 2-day travel, but the next day, so, they're there, they're still cold, ready to eat that butter love right there at your doorstep, baby.
That's it. Butter love at your doorstep. And my goodness, when we have them over here at my house, when I first introduced my family, we've always known about oysters. Then they found out about you. Then they found out about my passion for you. And we cook them over here on Christmas Eve the last time we did them. And I got a teenage son who loves to show off his muscles. And he's my oyster opener. And we cook them on the grill. And the passion is spreading. There's butter love on my doorstep here in Mobile. And we just love it. Tell me what the volume is these days. Is this information you can share? It's a quiet laugh.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And, we're just thankful to do what we do, and how the people, because like you said, it's a passion, and we like to think that this passion is contagious.
Yeah.
And so just now, your family, hey, now you're doing something with your son. He opens them, you cook them. And that's what we like to see. And that's what, hey, now he's going to do it with his son. He said, hey, me and Dad, this is what me and Dad did.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's what we like to see grow. And that's what we like to see people get and just be a part of them and be a tradition that they do. We've been working on some butters. Funny that you mentioned that. We're going to come out with some butters. Hey, man, because it's fun to grill. It's fun to have your family around. And what we found is, hey, if you like them raw, they're great. But more people, you'll get a bigger audience if you cook them just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, man, the oyster snob inside of me wants to tell you, oh, no way, don't dare cook these. A little bit of lemon, straight out of the shell. It's perfect. But, hey, everybody's palate's just a little different. Everybody prefers them just a little different way. But everybody loves something good. So throw them on the grill. Been playing with some butter, like I said. I got a little crystal hot sauce butter. Excellent. Got a little lemon butter that was really, really good. Hey, throw them on the grill, make a family event around it. And it's just, that's what we want to see. And that's what we want to continue to push, this family thing. You've seen us, everybody's involved. My mom, my dad, my wife, my sister's with us, on board with us now. I'm pulling all my family in because, like my oysters, I'm contagious also. And so when you get around me, you either hate me or you love me and you want to go and push with me. And so that's what I'm doing, man. I'm trying to get a team together to help me push, to help me go forward. And that's what the butter love is all about.
Man, you've got to be selling every oyster you pull out of the water. You got to be selling your entire inventory. The story you told me that I absolutely fell in love with is, I think it was in Charleston, where you guys would go through the back door of the restaurant and just set up. You just find an open door, set up. You knew who the restaurant was. Set up and start shucking and handing the oysters out. And slowly they would make their way to the chef, and somebody would come back and say, what's going on back here? What is this? And you would sell an oyster that way. Are you still doing that type of stuff?
Well, with the pandemic, that hasn't been going on, and that's what we miss. But, we've done some things, and hopefully we're going to get over to Fisher's here in May and do a little event. There's some stuff on the horizon that's coming about. We're going back down to Miami in May this year to do the food and wine show down there, and get a chance to get back out amongst the people, man, and be with the people and let them taste the product and just see it on their face and just so surprised that they've got something from the South that tastes like this, and it just changes their perspective of Southern oysters. And so, that's what we're about. But, we haven't been able to do that, but we're looking forward into getting it back again. And like I said, man, we just get this crazy mess behind us and get back on track here. But, hey, that being said, man, we're probably coming out the best year that we've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, and I just want to say I laughed when you talked about the volume. That's just, hey, man, we've been blessed. We've been blessed. I just got to tell you, we've been blessed. Crazy times, crazy things, but, we're still expanding. We're still going forward. And on every front, we're trying to push the boundary. So, hey, it's been good. It's been crazy, but it's been good.
How do you explain the volume, Lane? Who's buying it? Is it local? Is it regional? I know you said you were FedExing. That can't be an extraordinary amount of your volume. What accounts for the best year ever in year of the pandemic?
Honestly, because we're in the South was a little more looser in their restrictions on COVID and stuff. And so, people flocked to where it was open. And I think that's been the biggest thing. So it's been regionally. We haven't seen our numbers grow outside of our original footprint, but just inside the Southeast, man, it has been booming. Yeah. But I think it's got a lot to do with the lockdowns. There's some people that hasn't left their house in 6 months and 8 months. And wherever you fall on that, it don't matter. It's just the facts are the South didn't lock down as hard. People were still able to move around a little bit. You didn't see the restaurants totally shut down. There was a time, there was a window, but overall, the Gulf still boomed. Last spring, there was crazy people at the Gulf shores, right or wrong. They were there. And so I think that's been the biggest thing. And through everything, I was able to keep my people. We were able to keep moving forward. We tested our people. Everything was good. We did the best we could. But where we work, we're out in the open. It wasn't a problem social distancing. We never had nobody fail a test. Everything was good at what we did. So we was able to keep going on. We felt safe about doing it. And just because of where we were located, I believe that was the biggest factor in it. Yeah. And then we had the product. Yeah.
I talked to a guy not long ago on this show who rents vacation properties in Gulf Shores, and the business took a dive 1 year ago, but it soared back when people realized, hey, if I'm going to quarantine, I may as well quarantine at the beach with friends. And when they did that, or friends and family, the restaurants were able to kind of stay loose, stay a little bit open. And I guess that's what benefited you. I want to pass a compliment. I was at, I think it's called the Camellia Cafe over in Fairhope not long ago, and they had murder points on the menu. My wife and I were having dinner with friends, and my friend said, gosh, these things are good, Cam. Have you ever heard of them? Let's get them. And I'm like, oh, yes, I have.
As a matter of fact,
I've thrown myself into the arms of the Zirlott family many times over there when I come to pick them up at the retail location in Bala Badri. Yeah, I've heard of them, and yes, let's get them and make sure we pass the compliments to them how good they were. It's been fun knowing you, man. I remember when you and I first talked. One of your challenges was trying to convince the marketplace outside of the Deep South that there are quality oysters that can come from the Deep South, that the reputation at the time was full of mud and big and fat and really no texture and no taste to them. And you're slowly winning folks over to say, no, that's not right. We can make a good oyster. How's that challenge continuing to go?
It's getting better, man. And people are starting, like I said earlier, when it's good, it changes the ball game. So just 2 days ago, got off a shelf, getting ready to open a restaurant in D.C. She's going to have 6 spots on her oyster bar, and she wants one of them to be for us to represent the South. She wants a Southern oyster on her oyster bar now. And so, it was a tide to get pushing it. But once we got the tide being pushed and, we got the momentum to be swinging the opposite direction, it's starting to slowly change. Now, had a guy tag me on Instagram, and it was a meme, and it was something degrading towards Gulf oysters. And he said, what do you think about this, Murder Point? And I said, I agree, because I don't eat Gulf oysters either. I eat Alabama farm-raised oysters.
Yeah.
Totally different thing, totally different product. It's not coming off the reef. And so when you get people to think about it like that, get people to understand that, hey, we even, down here in the South, we even have the latest technology. We got refrigeration. You've seen maybe just a glimpse of the building I'm building behind the storefront. It's going to have the wet storage. It's 100% cooler in there. So, we're doing the things that we've got to do. You've been down to the farm. You see the process of getting the oysters out of the water and able to get them into the refrigerated truck because we're land-based.
Yeah.
And everything that goes on with our process, people, it starts to click, and you say, hey, you know what? I follow these people on Instagram. I know what they're doing. I know what they put into their oyster. I can eat this oyster with confidence. And just because it's from the South don't necessarily mean that it's bad. And like I said, once you get people to perceive that, it's over with, because the taste is there, and it is the best oyster you'll put in your mouth, hands down. I would say worldwide, definitely in the United States.
I'd agree. And I cannot eat one. I've never been able to eat one. When I get your oysters, I have to buy a bag of them, and I sit there until I'm uncomfortable from eating them. They're fantastic. And Lane, you got a big advocate in me, and I know a lot of people around here feel the same way, my friend. I now wear your T-shirt. I bought a T-shirt when I was last getting the oysters, and I wear it with pride. My back straightens up a little bit, and I want to make sure people see it when I got it on. Real quick, Lane, how can people find you if they want to try some of your oysters or they want to come visit your facility?
Hey, reach out to us on Instagram, on our new website that should be kicked off this week. 2 locations to serve you. Balabatry, the flagship. Hey, over in Orange Beach at the Wharf, baby. Come get that butter love this summer. Knock it down. Straight to your door if you want it that way. FedEx it right to you. Butter love, baby. See you next time. Thanks, Cam.
Yeah. Lane, I'm absolutely in love. I hope it goes well. Thank you so much, Lane. We'll check in with you again. Best wishes, my friend.
All right, buddy. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Bye-bye. Folks, we'll be back for final comments after this break.
I'm David Nelson, brewmaster and owner of Braided River Brewing. We want beer that goes along no matter where the adventure takes us, and that doesn't make us choose between great beer and drinkability. We're drawn to the Delta and united by beer, because to us, the best way to celebrate the Delta is to slow down and savor the moments and the beer together. Come visit our tap room in downtown Mobile and ask for us at your favorite bar or restaurant. Visit online at braidedriverbrewing.com.
At Spring Hill Toyota, it's just that easy. From our 3-day exchange to free car washes, the benefits of the Spring Hill Advantage make the choice easy to see. We make it easy to own. Every vehicle comes with Toyota Care, plus our no-cost maintenance plan with free tire rotations and oil changes for 4 years. Get peace of mind with free roadside assistance 24/7. And don't forget, it's easy to buy your car 100% online. Visit SpringHillToyota.com today. It's just that easy.
Hey, this is Cam. Thanks for listening, and I hope you're really enjoying the podcast. Do me a favor and search for Cam Marston on your social media outlets and like us or follow us or whatever is the right thing to do. Also, if you know others who'd benefit from the podcast, please forward it on to them and encourage them to listen. If you're so inclined, we'd love your rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Those ratings matter. Finally, don't be a stranger. Email me with your comments, your feedback, your thoughts, your show ideas, whatever. Cam, C-A-M, at cammarston.com. I'd love to hear from you. Again, thank you very much for listening. Now, back to the show. Well, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed each of these people the first time I met them and introduced them to you. I hope you have helped them out in some way. They're all passionate about what they do. They're all passionate about serving people like you and me. It's not the product. And so one of the themes that this show continues to uncover is a passion for serving people. And the business is a venue through which they serve people. It's not about the product. It's about serving people. And the product is ancillary to what it is that they do. Which leads me to my friends Jamie Sandifer and Mark Sawyers with Sandifer Wealth Management. They do the same thing. Their passion is serving people. You'll find them. They boast about this family atmosphere, this unparalleled customer service, and they have a reason to do so. It's legitimate. You're going to enjoy, if you need any sort of financial management advice, you look at people like the ones that we talked to this week, like Lane, who was just on and thinking, man, maybe there's an investment opportunity there. I don't have any idea. But if you're looking for investment opportunity, particular particularly with an organization that's been around for a while, since 1982, who is a fiduciary focused on your needs, not sales, but your needs. I hope you'll give Sandifer Wealth Management a look. You can find them at sandiferwealth.com. That wraps us up this week. Good show. Enjoyed checking in with these people. The show is produced by John Thompson with Eye on Digital, and I am the reason he doesn't spend more time on the water. Sorry, John. We'll have another show next week, everybody. Have a great week.